Welcome back to Rollback Home. This is your boy Sam Edan, and
I'm wrong. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. I didn't know if I wanted to put my government name out there.
it's a little too late for that. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's true.
saying? Yeah, I don't think anybody's looking for you. No offense. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Unless you plan to say something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So what we doing here today, brother?
you know, that's a good question.
Hmm.
You tell me.
Well, I wanted to talk. I want to continue our conversation from the last podcast and speak more about consistency
Hmm. So you're just trying to be consistent with the theme.
with the theme.
That's good.
Exactly.
It's a good step.
Hey, nothing's lost on you, brother. It's amazing. Why do you think it's so difficult to be consistent? I feel like this is a series of like me just trying to figure out why I'm a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
every episode I'm talking about like honesty. How do I become honest? It's like, right. The next one is like, consistent. It's like I'm just admitting to being a loser. I feel like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Why is it difficult to be consistent? I think
Mm.
because we want short term, like quick turnaround gains.
Right?
So we want that quick win.
We don't have a problem being consistent in the things that we like doing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tell me, hey man, can you consistently watch Netflix every night? Brother, I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's true.
right. Like I have no problem being consistent in that. But I have a problem being consistent, or people have problems being consistent with the things that are difficult to do. Because in like Netflix, for example, or like for me, it's like potato chips.
Hmm.
You know, like brother, you know what I'm saying? Like
What? What's wrong with potato chips?
I love potato
I was
chips.
about
You
to
don't
say.
understand, bro. You give me a bag of potato
Yeah,
chips, close the door behind you. You know what I'm
sir.
saying? It's about to get crazy. You know, I can't. Once I start, it's over.
Mm.
I can be consistent in those things, but I can't. It's because the enjoyment is in the activity
Mm.
versus like consistency in things that we don't like that we have to sort of delay gratification. It's almost like people are like, yo, it's the destination that we'll enjoy,
Mm.
right? I don't believe this whole the beauty's in the journey type people. I don't believe that.
I
Or
do.
you do?
Yeah.
I okay. I don't completely disbelieve it, but if you were to ask all the successful people in the world to start over, ain't none of them starting over.
That's true.
That's how you know they're not like. If it was the beauty's in the journey, brother, start over. You know, you wouldn't be upset if I just hit restart and you had to start from being broke.
I think it's more so the aspect of you would never actually truly appreciate it unless you went through that journey. So might as well enjoy the process. It's kind of like they say you don't understand the darkness without light. You don't understand health without sickness. You don't understand. So you usually need to have some type of adversity to actually be able to understand how good it feels. So if it was just handed to you overnight, you'd never actually experience the joy of achieving it, which is probably it's a thrill in and of itself, like being grateful for something. It gives you almost a sense of purpose or at least being content. Because if it was just handed to you, I'm just trying to think like if something was just handed to me, I will enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I will enjoy it. But I will not be internally, I probably wouldn't be satisfied. I probably start seeking something else because I'm not actually grateful for it. Rather, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not grateful for it.
Yeah, like you're seeking the challenge. I'm not saying that there's no beauty in the journey. I'm just saying most of it is at the end of the journey, brother. You know what I'm saying? I think like maybe 5, 10%, because I like diets, right? I'm trying to lose weight right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm down.
Good job. You're doing a
Yeah,
damn good job,
yeah,
man.
you know what I'm saying? 12 pounds,
Stick.
12 pounds down, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
That's something light.
That's a whole
So,
how heavy is a chicken? The whole chicken from Costco. Well, that's that 2 pounds. You lost 3 chickens.
more
Six
than
chickens.
6 chickens.
That's great.
Yeah.
Think about it. Imagine you had 6 chickens right here.
You know what I did? I actually Googled how does 5 pounds of fat look like?
Mm,
How does 10 pounds of fat look like? And like they'll put it next to like an object, like a pen or something, so you can get the idea.
that's a lot.
And I was like, I lost that?
Really?
That's
That's a good
crazy.
amount.
It was a big amount, right? Because I looked at 5 pounds and I was like, dude, I lost more than double that.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so, but like if you tell me,
You
like,
was
yeah,
fat as hell.
and status, but I don't particularly like dieting, you know.
Mm.
It's like, it's cool, it's fine, it's whatever. But
You know what it is for me?
hmm,
It's not about it like, oh, I enjoy the hardness of life. No, but my mindset is you're going through it. You might as well be positive about it. That's my thing. Like I went through a phase in life where like I remember when I had to move from Jersey to
Mm,
here,
mm,
and I moved and it was junior year of high school, and I've been with my friends since I was in preschool. Okay. I felt miserable. I missed junior year and my senior year of high
yeah,
school with my best friends.
mm,
And when I came to California, I was depressed for 2 years. Like I didn't want to interact. I knew people, but I didn't want to interact with them. I didn't even, I chose to do homeschooling and graduate as a junior because I didn't want to interact with anyone.
mm,
When I look back, I'm just like, what did that do? You being upset and depressed, myself.
yeah,
Did that help you? No.
no.
So why couldn't I just enjoy the position I was in because there was nothing that I can do about it? Does
I
that make sense? So like,
100%.
yeah,
I asked myself that. So worrying is basically punishing yourself twice
yeah.
because either you had something to worry about and you just worry, you go through it when you go through it, and you worried for like let's say you're worrying for like 5 days for something that might happen on the sixth day. Either the bad thing happens on the sixth day and now you just had 5 extra days of just being upset, or nothing happened on the sixth day. Everything's good, but you just spent 5 days being worried.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that. But I also feel like when I get worried or upset, I feel like what I'm doing is I'm trying to get God to pity me.
Yo.
I swear, like
Yo.
sometimes I just feel like I know and I'm hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will just be like, I got you,
You
this
know what
guy
though?
is wild, bro.
Is that how you think about a homeless dude that's in the street?
That he,
Hell no, you know you ain't giving him $5. Get your up
oh,
and go
like pity.
go find a job, boy.
No, I'll try, but like I'm just saying, like when I can't do nothing.
Yeah,
Like let's say, for example, I'm trying to, I had my Instagram page like taken down for like
I remember
weeks,
that.
right?
That
And I
was
was, I
crazy.
was freaking out.
I
I
remember.
had like 50K followers on there. I'm like, oh man, I gotta start from the back. And everyone's just telling me like, hey, look, man, it sucks, but start over. And I was like, you don't understand how long it took.
Yeah.
I'm not starting over. I'm gonna sit here and cry. And they're like, what's that gonna do? You don't understand. Maybe if God sees me cry long enough, he won't give it back. You know what I'm saying? And subhanAllah, I actually got it back. So that's why I still like stick. Right? But back to like the whole journey and like, being happy on the journey. Like I enjoyed college, but I kind of enjoyed college, but I don't want to go back and study,
Mm,
right? I enjoyed post graduation, right? But then looking back, to be honest, like I weigh it like I was broken stress in college. I'm still broken stress, but I preferred college stress over real life stress.
yeah.
10 out of 10 times.
That's why for me, it really is. You know how everybody that's older than you always says, "Oh, when you get older, it just gets harder." Or when you get older, you see you're gonna wish you go back to that. I could never understand it. And now it's like, oh my goodness.
Right.
It's like it's as clear as day. And I think I've now accepted the fact that that's gonna consistently happen. I
Yeah.
think I've now accepted the fact that okay, I'm I'm gonna turn 30, I'm gonna turn 40, I'm gonna turn 15. It's gonna be more difficult or more stressful than when I was this age, most likely.
Yeah. So in 10 years, you're gonna look back on today. Be like,
Yeah,
"Ah, I should have taken advantage of those days."
right.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My uncle said this to me on my graduation day. It was terrible. It was mad funny. He goes, "Hey man, because I took a little longer in college than expected,"
Mm.
and he goes, "Hey man, college is the best 4 years of your life. I see why you made it six." I was like, "God damn!" I was like, "It's my God, can I have one day? Like, can you just clap like everybody else? Why you gotta, why you gotta, bro? You just like slipped it in. It was so like calm. I was like, oh God, damn, like I just." But yeah, I look back on those days and I'm like fond of it. But I remember they came with their own challenges.
Yeah.
But I think people say stuff like, "Oh, you got to enjoy the process," not because they actually enjoy it 100%. Like you said, there's parts of it that you enjoy, and at the end you can actually be grateful for the things. But I think it's almost a facade that you got to sell yourself in order to build
Mm.
that mental fortitude, right? Like somebody said, discipline is doing the thing you hate like you love it.
Mm.
So I think people are just telling themselves like, "Hey, man, I'm doing this one thing, and I'm doing it like I love it." But I think you telling yourself that, right? Because no way you 100% like the grind.
But I also, I'm trying to relate it back to like the dean. And I remember, like, for myself, that there was a scholar that had mentioned even when you pray, because prayer is difficult, trying to pray 5 times is difficult.
Mm.
There's going to be a phase where you feel like a hypocrite. And I felt like a hypocrite. And what was his advice? His advice wasn't don't pray. His advice was pray, force yourself to pray, and eventually you will actually come to love it. I'm just
Mm.
thinking out loud, maybe that is the case. Maybe you realize that whatever it is that you're doing there and then is actually what's going to get you to your ultimate goal. And that in and of itself, that consistency in doing that action will actually eventually create some type of love for that action. Like I can see that happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like same thing as gym. Like you get to love gym, working out,
Yeah, fact.
right? You can
People,
actually,
yeah,
but not every time, right? Like
yeah,
today I went to gym, I did legs. I did not enjoy myself
yeah.
like whatsoever. And
That's a great point because you see people who probably never hit the gym in their life. All of a sudden, they see it's so difficult, but then they see the transformation.
yeah,
They see where it's getting them, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like they can't live without the gym.
yeah,
I could see that in a career where you see that your career is getting you something,
yeah.
right? And so you begin to actually potentially.
That's when consistency is easy, right?
Mm,
I think doubt is the biggest killer. Like that's why you become you're not consistent because you start to second guess if you're even on the right path. So for example, we talked about all these ideas, business ideas that we had. We start these business ideas thinking, oh, it's just gonna take over the world, or at least my city, like, or it's gonna take care of my bills or whatever. And then you get it close to market or even just start market, and you're just like, man, who gonna buy this? You know, like you just leave it alone because you doubted it. You doubted yourself, right? And I think that's what kills everything. Like you need to have the same conviction you had in the beginning throughout, right? I know this brother Imranya, shout out to Imranya. He told me, he said this one thing. He's like, the same God that gives you the business idea is the same one that can give you customers. And then I always told myself, like, okay, if you can make it, if you have an idea and you do all the work, you invest the money, you do all this like the dirty work, right?
yeah,
Walk
go.
past the finish line. Like you're already you did 90% of the
Yeah.
work. Just walk it through. And yeah, if it fails at some point, sure, call it quits. But dog, I'd be quitting way before
Mm,
anything. So and that's doubt even with like when you said Salah, like why is Salah so difficult? Because I don't think people see the reward.
yeah.
There's doubt. Like there might be
Still.
a sense of doubt. Like, yo, is this really the way? Is this really like I'll take it back to doing gym, right? Because when I started working out, like I don't know, a while back, I was trying to do too many things at once, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Mm,
So I'll just give you an idea. I was trying to lose weight, but I was trying to get strong at the same time, and that means I was limiting my calories. But then at some point, I couldn't lift heavier every week. Like
you, you,
it's stunted.
you were a walking oxymoron.
Yeah, it's stunted, right? Like if you're trying to get stronger or buffer, like you gotta eat, you gotta bulk. I was a walking moron. It was crazy. Like, and I was like, yo, and it works to the beginning. You know, you can get stronger, like muscle memory or whatever. Like, I'm getting stronger every week, and then it just like plateaus, and you're like, why am I not getting stronger? That's because you had quinoa. You know what I'm saying? And you had a pear today, like, and you wondering why. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine trying to bench like 200 pounds and you had quinoa for 4 days straight. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't work. So the doubt and whenever you don't know what you're doing or you don't see the results immediately, that's when like it creeps in. I had the same thing with like that's why it's easy to like do stuff like oh I'm gonna go on vacation every year. I can be consistent about that. Why? Because I enjoy it. The activity alone is the reward. But if I'm telling myself I'm gonna save up, that part's hard because the reward comes at the end.
Mhm.
Now you take that to like Dean, the reward may not be in this life at all. Like you may get those like fuzzy feelings inside, you know what I'm saying? You pray, you feel good, you do something nice, you feel good inside. But I'll say like maybe 6, 7, 10, 6, 7 out of 10 times the right thing is actually a difficult thing. And so, you know, changing the way you dress, changing the way you talk, changing the way, you do XYZ, the people you hang out with,
Dang,
right?
you just dropped the whole bar.
What's up?
Changing the way that you dress, the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
Just, you know what I'm saying? In a
Oh
different
my
life.
gosh.
Look, man, I had
Oh my
bars.
gosh.
I didn't drop them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Um, that's another hustle I gave up on. I'm telling you, brother.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
What?
Alhamdulillah. But you see, like, you know, in Deen, like you get it. You don't see the reward in this life, so, and not only do you not see the reward, you may actually just see difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, subhanAllah, it's so tough.
So that's like why it's like the ultimate reward
Yeah.
is Jannah, because man, you had to be so consistent with all the doubt that you might have faced, and that's why I think like the mental fortitude is so important. And I don't know if maybe that's like the hikmah
Mm,
of like Jummah every week,
mm,
is that thing that strengthens the
mm,
mental fortitude, and the thing that kind of comes to dispels doubt.
mm.
You know what I mean?
For sure. I'm just thinking about the whole doubt thing, and I'm trying to relate it back to the gym, or just relate it back to like this world, right? I remember when I went to the gym, what was it, like 2 months in my whole life? One of the biggest things was, if you really want to see gains,
Mm,
is you push till failure,
mm.
right? And usually, if you have a spot and you are not making it, like you're going to failure, what are they doing?
They're
Right?
there to stop it from crushing you.
Crushing you, right? But at the same time, are they telling you, yeah, give up?
No, they're saying one more.
Let's go,
I
let's
hate them
go,
dudes.
let's go, right? But like in that moment, you're doubting yourself. And a lot of the times we end up getting it back up. Sometimes we don't, but you get my point, right?
Mm,
Like in that moment of doubt,
yeah,
like I'm sorry, in that moment of difficulty, the last thing you should do is doubt yourself, right?
yeah,
So I'm thinking back to, again, in my weak points of faith, the last thing I should be doing in that point is doubting myself. But that's usually the first thing that we do. Does that make sense?
yeah.
And the Prophet ﷺ, like, even said that when you get these whispers
Mm,
of doubt, the first thing you should tell yourself is literally say, Amantu billahi wa rasulih. I believe in Allah and I believe in His messengers. It's affirmation. It's a verbal,
mm.
physical affirmation. You are telling yourself this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, there's a huge, subhanAllah, you can see the parallels, and even in life. What did they tell you? Motivational thing. You have to believe in yourself. You have to tell yourself, I can do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
SubhanAllah, in Islam, it's like literally in a hadith, it's prescribed that. Like, even in your points of weakness in faith,
Yeah,
just remind yourself that you believe in Allah and you believe in the Rasul. And sometimes that's all it is. That's all it takes sometimes.
yeah. I think that's the same thing with like mentors. Like why you have mentors around you, why you have good people around you to keep you on that same mission. And I wonder like why do we need that? And like for me, like when we think about our jobs, we're consistent, and that's one thing that we hate. But somehow we're consistent in going to our jobs, and that's because we trust that there's paycheck at the end of it. But we don't really trust that there might be
Damn, that's unfortunate.
something to come out of all the efforts that we
That's
make.
crazy.
You know what I
SubhanAllah.
mean? Like we believe in the paycheck more than we believe in the one who sent the paycheck. You feel me?
That's crazy.
It's crazy,
Bars.
right? But I'm victim to that too. Like I weigh it, right? Like every day you wake up, if your sleep means more to you than the paycheck, you could probably go, you're gonna sleep in for a little.
Crazy. Yeah.
But if you know that, hey, this money, it's guaranteed, and I value it more because I got stuff coming up, bills, whatever, then you're gonna get up and go to work, and it's not even a question. Like it's as if, and no one get that. It's quote unquote guaranteed, right? You're not gonna get duped to paycheck. I mean, it happens actually in business and stuff. Kind of hard to do that in
America.
in America in the job. We're just gonna sue, but
Right.
we have so much conviction in everything in this life. It's almost an extreme to believe in the thing that isn't there, like in front of you.
Sheikh Yasser says something. He's like, the Sahaba believed in their two nafila rak'ahs, like their two sunnah rak'ahs. They had more belief and trust in that than we have in the dollar in our hand.
Yeah.
Like, like if I have a $20 bill right here, I know I can go to the market and buy something with this 20. There's no doubt, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the level of faith that I have in this money that's in my hand. He's saying the Sahaba had that same conviction in the two rak'ahs they used to pray when they asked Allah for something.
Yeah. There was, this dude, he's a comedian, passed away. His name is Patrice O'Neill. Super funny dude. Had some crazy takes. and he used to say that he's not fearful of religion, but he has a fear of hardcore believing in the wrong thing, right? So like he's only religious like when he's on a plane, right? And so he'll be scared when he gets on a plane, and so he will say, "Oh God," he'll try to do some good deed real quick. So he finds him like old lady, goes, "Hey lady, you need me to put your bag up in the in the compartment," and then he goes, "Look, God, you see me helping this old lady. You ain't gonna kill us, right?" And then the funny thing is, after the flight, that same old lady be like, young gentleman, sir, could you get my bag?" He goes, "What? Lady, I kept this plane in the sky for 6 hours. I ain't getting your damn bag." Like it was just funny. It's so
That's
funny.
hilarious.
It's funny. It's like you only do it when you're like in dire need.
It's transactional.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, I used to think of like sometimes I get worried and I think about these weird things, like you are as protected or as sheltered in a dinghy in a little broken boat in the middle of the ocean than you are as you are in your house, like with brick walls and comfortable bed and nice food and stuff. If you can believe that all of it is God, then you understand that, hey, like either or, I'm always in need.
Not just that,
Yeah.
you fear someone like that. I
You
was
fear
think,
someone who
yeah,
who like thinks like that?
who has such a deep faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Mm,
Like I was thinking about it today, I was reflecting. I was like, subhanallah, like there's a way when a person truly loves Allah
mm,
and they have so much faith in Allah, that person should be feared, right? Because they're not relying on their own strength. They're not relying on what they can do.
mm.
Their reliance is on Allah. And if Allah takes that person as a friend, good luck crossing their path.
And fearful in what way? Like, let's say, good luck, doing them wrong.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, literally. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, like, and if you can be careful about the way you treat people because one of them might be a wali of Allah. One of them might be a friend of Allah. You don't know it. It could be that homeless guy on the street. You don't know if
yeah,
what have you. It could be, the janitor who's cleaning the masjid, and for some reason you just side eye them, or you disregard them, or you disrespect them.
mm,
They're not gonna say anything. They don't do anything. They don't even have the power or ability to say anything.
yeah,
But Allah got their back. Whether it's in this life that you're gonna feel it, or in the next,
yeah,
yeah, I gotta be careful.
yeah. No, that's true.
I
I
think
feel that in people. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, sometimes like you can see somebody and you, dude, like the people, they're not the Muslim, like, bro. The people who sell like fruits on the side of the road.
yeah,
Like, dog, like you sitting in like hot
I
temperature,
respect
selling
that so
something
much.
out of like $4, $5, $6, and you believe hardcore that this is going to pay my rent because I have no other way. And I'll work an office job, but like stressing.
Yeah, I
Like,
respect those people so
yeah.
much. It's crazy.
Like my mom even said it, like, she was talking to me, she's like, look, if you're meant to get something, like you work this job or you start selling t-shirts outside the house. This is when I talked to her about doing comedy, etc. She's like, I'll have more respect for you if you're selling t-shirts outside the house because of what comes with that as a person.
Hmm.
And
Character
yeah, the
built.
character of that person, like that, even Hamid Al-Shanawi is a sheikh that, like, I admire from
I love it.
Pennsylvania.
Isn't he in Philly? No, maybe he's in
I think
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, Allentown.
Hmm.
And he said, I believe in one of the lectures, he said his teacher would say, don't think that because you're learning tawakkul, like from me, like the concept of it, that you have it more than the guy who's a businessman,
SubhanAllah.
whose back is against the wall and doesn't know where his
SubhanAllah.
next meal or sale is going to come from.
SubhanAllah, bro.
And I think about that and I'm like, this dude, office jobs, lightweight, kill tawakkul.
Bro, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
There's actual scholars that say this,
Mm.
that you will not actually have true tawakkul, right? Until essentially this concept of doing business, right? And I forgot who I was talking to, but they mentioned it, and I was like, Subhanallah, I mean, I feel like such a hypocrite, but yeah, I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought, but like essentially a 9 to 5, knowing your paycheck is coming direct deposit
Yeah, yeah.
versus someone who is leaving the house not knowing what that business is going to bring in that day. It's a night and day
Night and day
difference.
difference.
And like you're forced to have reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think it's the active experiences that build that.
Mhm.
You know how they say it's like you can learn the theory of soccer all day, the theory of basketball all day. My guy, if you ain't kicking the ball or shooting the ball, you're not gonna get better.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
exactly.
gonna. And you know how like that saying, I asked God for money,
Mm,
but He didn't give me money. He gave me opportunities to make money.
mm.
I asked God for
Should
patience.
should have been a little bit more specific.
I asked God for patience.
Yeah.
He didn't just give you patience, but He put you in opportunities to help grow your patience.
Yeah.
And so that's the concept is like even when it comes to consistency, we ask Allah for consistency, but He puts us in positions and scenarios in which He's giving us the opportunity to build consistency.
Yeah.